Hi friends, I'm Jody. Welcome back to this Beaded Life. If this is your first time here, I'm happy to see you. If it's not your first time here, I'm happy to see you as well. So this week we are doing a Christmas decoration videos, and these can be items that you can do as a sun catcher, a Christmas tree ornament, or even something to hang on your rearview mirror of your car to make you feel a little more festive, your office at work, whatever the situation may be. They also make lovely gifts or gift tag add-ons where you can attach it to a gift bag or a package just to give the recipient a little something extra from your heart. So this video, we're going to be doing Christmas trees, and they are, I was inspired by a video that I had saved 2 years ago by Heather Boyd, and I will make sure I link that link. I will put that link in the description of my video. And Heather is great. If you have never seen her before, maybe you're new to jewelry making, maybe you're not, but if you haven't seen her, go check her out. She does a ton, and she has a huge library of videos that you can watch and learn from. So thank you, Heather, for the inspiration. I appreciate you, and stay tuned. We're gonna go over what we need and what we are making. I'll be right back. Okay, first of all, you'll notice that it is a very simple triangle shape, and this is actually so much easier than what it looks. I have some 16 gauge wire here, which I have here. I cut about 18 inches because I want it to be big enough to make my tree and to do my cute little swirly swirls here. Your swirls don't have to be perfect, or they can be perfect. I just think it being not perfectly straight lines makes it even more whimsical. I also use some 24 gauge wire to wrap my beads on. You'll notice some of them are stationary only because, like, I learned from Heather to do like a little loop around them to make them stationary. Some of them kind of flip-flop around and slide around on here. So I just wanted a little bit of movement, but not all of them to be able to move. So let me show you how this is done. Oh, depending on how big you want this to be too, like if you're looking to do like a big like sun catcher for your window, you can definitely double, triple this size. I mean, it's all up to you. But I'm making ornament size pieces. So that might be bigger than this one. It might be smaller than this one. It doesn't really matter because they're all going to be cute as can be. You're also going to need some ribbon. I made a wreath in a previous video, actually the video before this one, where I cut my ribbon in half for my wreath, and I'm using the other half of my ribbon. No pieces go unused. I dug through some of my beads, and I really love this color scheme. I've got some glass pearls and some jet glass sunburst. I have a couple big crystals, some fire polish, some race beads, and I have a couple snowflake beads left over from shopping at Bead Box Bargains, or you getting them in a bargain bead box like over a year ago. So we're going to use some of these beads today. I won't need them all, of course, but we are going to use some of them, and then the rest will just go back into my stash. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our wire and we're going to straighten it out because we really need some good angles here. Of course, it's not going to be like perfectly triangular shaped because, you know, it just wire kind of moves a little bit. And if you're looking for that rustic, whimsical look, this is where it's going to be awesome. So I got my practice piece out of the way last night, and I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good about this. All right, so now I have my wire, and again, mind you, it's not perfectly straight, but we can use our nylon gel pliers at any point. I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm just gonna kind of go where like I think the middle is here, and I'm just going to bend one side. So now I have like a triangle. Now, how you want to make your triangle, if you want to make it more narrow, you can, but remember, you're going to be wire wrapping in all of it. So maybe start with a wider triangle, and because it will go down, and you know, as you're manipulating it. I'm not going to make it exactly the same as I made the other one, but we are going to use the same colors and the same concepts. So I'm going to get my 24 gauge wire, and I'm just gonna break off like cut off a piece that's manageable. So I've got about 1.5 feet here, 2 feet, and I feel like that's manageable for me. And again, depending on how big you're making this, depends on how much wire you're going to actually use. The first thing I want to do is I want to start up at the top. And I apologize because this may look a little fiddly to you, but I'm going to try my best to make it as easy as I can. All right, so my little kitty magnet is grabbing onto my wire. So I'm just bending my 24 gauge wire over my 16 gauge wire, and I am making just like 3 little loops, and these can be as neat or as messy as you want them. I'm making them a little bit messy because, again, I think it adds to that rustic, whimsical look. So that's the look I'm going for. You can definitely make it a lot neater if you like. All right, so now I got that on there. And now I'm going to pick which bead I want to start off the top. And I think I want to do, you know what, let's do one of these little white pearls. And that's just going to hold our triangle together, okay? So this is where you're going to decide how wide you want your triangle. So if you want it to come in closer to the bead, which I kind of do, I'm going to go right about here like this. So I have room to wrap that wire around my 16 gauge wire, but I'm still leaving room for that bead to kind of breathe. And again, we're going to wrap the 24 gauge wire around our 16 gauge wire 3 times, okay? And again, you can squish that together as much as you want. I want mine pretty spaced out because I want to be able to kind of go down and down and down, just like you would when you're making like a little tree. All right, so then next, let me see if I can just zoom you in a little bit. Just a little bit. Sorry if I'm making any of you seasick. All right, so next I think I want to grab some blue. So I am going to grab one of these little blue fire polish beads. And I am going to just leave 1 bead on here, but I don't want it to slide around. I want it to kind of stay where it lands, like right here, okay? So I'm going to take my wire and I am just wrapping it around that bead to hold it in place. I know it looks funny at first, but remember, the finished piece is what really matters, and you can definitely play with that wire. Once it's all done, we're going to kind of go back through our tree and just make sure that everything is sitting the way we want it to sit. And I have my wire spaced out a little bit. See, that way I can come down and I can start other beads down here. So again, just wrapping it around 3 times. And this one, I might want to do 2 beads. So let's do one of these little small crystals, light crystals, and let's do a snowflake. All right. I don't think these snowflake beads are still around, but if you happen to have some in your stash, awesome. If you don't, it's okay too. Just use whatever beads you have on hand. These beads were from well over a year ago, and some of these other beads, I can't even tell you where I got them from. All right, and we're gonna do the same thing with the snowflake one because these tend to wanna lay sideways and kind of flop around. So we're just gonna use that wire to kind of stabilize it. And again, your loops are gonna be funky, your wrapping might be funky. It's okay, it's gonna play to that whimsy of our decoration. All right, and then I think I wanna just go ahead and put 1 more bead on. We're gonna put a little bit more beads on this one, I think, than my last one. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so I got my other bead there. All right, snowflake's not going anywhere. My other beads are free to roam around their little short leash. And let's wrap 3 more times. Whoops. Things are gonna slip and slide, you guys. Like I said, don't worry about it. We are going to go back through and make sure everything's kind of landing where it should be. But if you're trying to keep a certain width or whatever, just fix what you can along the way and then move along to the next. All right, got our 3rd wrap around. So there we go. All right, now I want to bring in some of our blue. So I want to grab one of these blue rice beads. And then let's do one of our blue fire polish crystals. And again, you can personalize this any way that you like, whatever your favorite colors are, whatever theme your Christmas tree is or your holiday decor is. You can really do a lot with this. And again, we're just going to wrap 3 more times. Don't worry about if it's not looking like what you want it to look like right away. You surely can undo what you've done, but I bet you if you just hang on for a moment and finish it up, it'll be so cute and you'll be so happy that you did. All right, so next let's do one of these little pearls. And I'm not using real pearls here. I'm using glass pearls here, guys. But you surely can use freshwater pearls if that's what you like. Let's do one of these big, chunkier crystal rondelles because it'll stand up nice right here. Yeah, just like that. And I am also going to wrap around this rondelle because I want it to kind of fill in this little space here. So let's do that first. Wire is actually more forgiving than what you think it would be. So just have fun with it. There we go. Look how cute. Look how cute. It is looking really cute. And I love all the little swirliness. That makes me really, really happy. All right, so next we're going to come down here with our pearl. And we're going to wrap it right here. Just once around, make a little swirly. And then we're going to put a blue bead here. Let's do this little rice bead. And let that one just kind of float and flutter around. Now you can also, if you're wanting something that looks a little more streamlined, you can make your wrap super neat and make really nice little rows. But I love the look of like rustic, whimsical. It's just really cute. There's a lot of character to it. So that's why I'm choosing to do it exactly the way or close to the way that Heather did. I think hers looks absolutely phenomenal, but she's very, 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 very good at what she does. All right, and now we're going to, let's do one of our little snowflakes. And again, we're gonna wrap this. And at any point, if you run out of wire, this one is so easy just to add on to it that it's not even a big deal. So I only cut like about 1.5 feet of wire. If I need more, I will definitely grab more, which I probably will, and I'll show you how to continue on. So we're gonna just wrap around that little snowflake again because this little guy wants to go wild and flip-flop all over the place. Coming out the back of it, there we go, just like that. And like I said, you can adjust your wire just using your fingernails. Super duper easy to do. All right, now we need our big pretty bead. We're gonna put this one right next to it. Kind of fill in that blank a little bit. And this one we're just gonna kind of let be. It's gonna rest up against that other wire a little, and we're just gonna kind of let that one be just the way it is. Okay. All right. And again, you can play around with your wire. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's fine. All right. Now we're going to bead on here. And I think I am going to want to add like maybe just a couple more little rows. So I'm going to show you to add how to add on to your piece here. So let's grab one of these pearls. And we're just going to let this little guy float around. And let's put on a couple other little beads and let them do the same thing. Let's have a whole little floating line here. Let's grab that one. You know what? I think that'll be good. And we're just going to let those beads just kind of play around and float. Don't be afraid of having bare wire. You're going to be able to see your tree or what your window or whatever through your piece. So that's going to be really cool there too. All right, so I'm going to cut that off. And if you were like me and you didn't cut enough wire because you didn't realize how overzealous you were going to be in making this, I'll show you just how simple it is just to add another piece. Let me squish that down real quick. Oh goodness, come on. There we go. All right, we got that little guy squished down. And now I'm going to grab some more of my wire. I don't need a lot more because I'm only really going to do a couple more sections. And I do have a spare piece here for the bottom. So I'm just going to cut off maybe about another foot. Oh, I am getting dangerously low. I have some more on order, so hopefully it'll be here soon. All right, so to continue on, and you don't want your wrap to slide around, of course. You want it to be connected. Start up just above your last wrap and just bring it like down, like over top of your wrap. And just kind of crisscross it together behind. If I can grab a hold of it. I know it sounds easier. But if it's up here above one of your little lines, it's not going to come down, okay? So now we can go ahead and do just another little quick wrap. And it's like we just are back where we started, okay? Really easy. We can cut off this piece. No one would ever know that you didn't cut off enough initially. That's why I leave my shortcomings in, guys. We can all learn together. All right, I'm gonna stop fiddling with it because like I said, I can fix it at the end. All right, so let's continue on. I want to use one of my big crystals here. Trying to use up some of my pieces that I'm not really using. And we're going to actually stabilize this bead right here. Okay, just give it a little twist around. Doesn't have to be perfect. And let's use one of these little blue pearls. We're gonna let that one just kind of bounce around. Let's use one of these little white, oh, nope, I don't wanna use that one. Let's maybe just do another crystal, like a smaller one. Let's do this one. And this one we'll go ahead and stabilize. We'll put this in a spot that we want and just wrap around our little crystal bead. Little glass bead, I should say, not crystal. It's not crystal, it's glass. All right. All right, I think we're gonna do maybe, oh, you can tell we're probably getting a delivery. My dog is going crazy. Also, we have a spot on our roof that needs to be fixed. So when we had a bad storm not that long ago, we ended up with a spot in our roof that needed to be reshingled. So my stepson Jacob is coming over this morning to help Shane with that. So that'll be nice to take care of that. All right, now we're going to stabilize this oval bead. And let's do one of these little white pearls. We'll leave that one be. And then let's do a little blue crystal here. And then we'll stabilize that little blue crystal right where we want him. And then let's do our little 3 wraps here. Actually, I think this is right about where I think I want it. Let's see if it's close. Oh, actually, it's pretty close. This one's a little bit longer. All right, so now that we did that, we're gonna go ahead and just wrap one more time, like kind of close down below your last wrap, okay? Since we're finishing that off, let's just kind of scoot those together because we're not going to do any more. And we can cut that off. Save all your scraps, you guys. Save all your scraps because you could use them in another project. All right, so now that we have that, I just want to kind of go through my tree and I just want to push some things down, maybe adjust some of my wires. And I'm just kind of playing with it. All right, and I actually love the way all of it's sitting. I think it looks great. If you're unhappy with the way something's sitting, put a little kink in your wire, you know, just kind of put a little kink in it. That helps too, okay? If you want to stop it from going a certain way or whatever, just take your little pliers and just make a little kink. So I'm actually very happy with the way this one turned out. I think it looks really, really cute. I think I want to put one little kink here, just like that. And then maybe we'll do one right here. Just to kind of, you know, like so. Cute, cute, cute. All right. So again, it's not going to be your perfect triangle shape, but you can kind of reform it, reshape it if you like. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our bottom. So, it's so cute, it's so springy. So we're going to come in here and we're going to take one of our 16 gauge pieces and we're just going to fold it in straight like that. So you just made like a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to try to line it up pretty close to perfect and try to do the other side too. So now I have like a little triangle shape. Again, a little uneven, a little whimsical, all good to go. Come here right about where you think your middle of your tree is. Bend one wire straight down. And then right next to that one, bend the other one straight down to meet it, okay? So a little off center, a little off kilter, I'm fine with it. All right, now I'm gonna take one of my little wires that I have like extra. And I'm just gonna keep both of those pieces together and we're just going to wrap. And you can wrap as long and as thick as you want it to be. I kind of like my little tree trunk to be kind of short and chunky. So we're just gonna wrap and wrap and wrap to secure it. And we're gonna come in and snip off the little pieces of wire that we don't need. Okay. And now let's take our pliers and let's just do some like little squishing, like little housekeeping. So I'm kind of just squishing my little pieces that I'm afraid might get caught on something. I'm going to take this up to the top and squish on that. Kind of squish out that my little wrap. And my wrap is going to be messy. But like I said, the rest of it is kind of messy loops and it's chunky and I want all of it to be the same. All right. So tuck that one little piece in there. All All right, so here is our cute, cute, cute little tree. It's so adorable. Oh my goodness. And we're not done yet, guys. We're not done. All right, so now we're going to just kind of level this out. And I'm going to actually bring in my trusty chapstick again, okay? Because we have this long little thing going on here. And I want to make some kind of like little swirl. So you can do this however. You can use your bail making pliers. You can use your round nose pliers. You can make these swirls as big or as small as you want them to be. This swirl is going to be different than my other swirl, which I'm like super happy about. I absolutely love that. And I'm just going to wrap it around. All right, kind of spread it out a little bit. And then I'm going to take my end, this end here, and we're just with my pliers, and I'm just going to twist that one end a little bit to make the inside of my swirl like that. And then you can just use your hands to fix it to however you like. So there's my cute little swirl. Now let's do the same thing with the other side. And I'll show you my first one and this one next to each other so you can see the differences in them, even though I use the same materials and the same beads. And then you'll see that every single one that you make will be unique from the previous one that you made. You're not going to have anything that is exactly the same. Each one is going to be very special, very different from the other. All right, and I'm just going to take my end again. Whoops. Kind of get a grip on it with my pliers. And I'm just going to twist that until I'm happy with the way my little spiral looks. And then let's even that out. It's amazing what you can do with your hands even with these pieces. And I think I just want that just to come in just a little bit more. Manipulate it with your pliers. Manipulate it with your fingers, whatever you want to do to make it what you love. All right, so now we can just kind of press it down. You can come in with your mallet or your hammer if you want and just kind of smash it down a little bit, which is something that I probably would like to do just to get this part kind of straight. So I'm going to show you what I mean. But I'm going to do it off camera because it can be loud. So I have my bench block and my hammer here. I'm going to use this part here, and I'm going to just put the end on my bench block. And I'm just going to tap gently like this all over this swirl just to get it to kind of stiffen up and even out. So I'm going to stop you for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, I did all my hammering, and just know whatever you do to this side, you're going to want to flip it over and do to the other side too. Otherwise, it's going to like bend back. And now it's made it nice and stiff. And now we can go ahead and get this stuff on to hang it. Put my hammer away. All right, so there's a couple things that I did. If you want to look at my other one, see, look how different they look. This one's kind of chubby right here on the side, and it's got a bigger loops. But this is what makes it so much fun, is you can make them all so different. And this one's a little bit longer. So we had a good time making it. All right, so now I'm going to get back out my 16 gauge wire, and we're just going to cut off a tiny bit, okay? Just enough to make like a little spot to maybe put like a little crystal or something. So this is probably about 4 inches of wire that I'm using. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to make a loop at one end. And I want my loop to be somewhat large, so I'm coming down right about here. Make that loop. Come back into it and just straighten out your pin, so your wire, so you have like a little eye pin here, okay? All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to open that up. We're going to hook it on here, just like that. We're going to choose a bead. How about this big, pretty crystal one? That's pretty. Let's close this back up before I forget to do that, because that's an important step. And now I'm just going to make like a large wire wrap loop, and I'm gonna make it going the same direction as this loop here so I can run my ribbon through. So I'm just coming down here where I was before, and I'm gonna make my loop. And it's not gonna be a huge wire wrap. It's gonna be kind of a smaller, chunkier one because we're using such thick wire. And again, I'm using 16 gauge Beadalon wire for my tree. For the wire wrapping, I'm using whatever I had that was 24 gauge. I don't even remember what the brand was. I've had it for a long time, and I'm sure that I probably got it at one of the local craft stores. So like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. So it's probably from there. Probably one of like their brands or whatever. All right, so I have that made. Just push in that little wire chunk there. And then now we're going to tie our ribbon. You can choose whatever ribbon you like. And we're just going to make a loop. And so we're just going to do a simple knot right here so that we can hang it from a tree, from a window, from whatever you choose to hang it from. And now I'm just going to trim some of this off, just like that. All right, guys, here it is. I hope you like this. I think it turned out so super cute. It was so fun and easy to make, and you can customize this in any way. Make yourself an ornament. Make this be something special that you tie onto a gift bag. Just something fun, a little bit of you put into a Christmas tree. All right, guys, I am thinking about you all, and I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.